Hi everyone, Rick Bray with BT BOCES Instructional Support, and like you can see, I'd like to show you a couple different ways to share a Google file. Now, I'm going to be working primarily here in Google Docs, but this also works with Google Slides, Google Sheets, and probably some other of the Google Suite of apps, but it may not work with all of them. Obviously, you'll want to try it before you use it with your audience. But we all know how you can share Google files by clicking on the share button, and then we can enter people's address in here, and if we want, we can make it edit, comment, or view access. We can also get a shareable link where now all of a sudden anyone in our domain can either view, comment, edit, and we can switch it so that anyone with the link can view, comment, edit, and we've looked at all of these in previous videos. But what I want to show you is some ways that we can share it a little bit differently that can be really, really useful. And like it says here, we're going to force a copy. We're going to look at the template view, and then we're going to look at the preview view, which just seems redundant to say preview view, but whatever. So the way that we do these three different things, force a copy, template view, and preview, is by changing the ending of the share link. What do I mean? Well, so we hit share, we get the shareable link, and I'm going to copy that link. But now to make it a little bit easier to see, I'm going to go into this Google Doc and play with the link here. Now, here I've pasted it, everything's good, and if you notice here at the ending, it says edit USP equals sharing. Now, I've seen people tell me that you only have to change the word edit. That may be the case. I'm just going to show you the way I do it. And I'm sure there's lots of other ways to do this. But anyway, what we want to do is take off that ending up to edit and replace it with the word copy. Okay, so again, just for remembering it, here was the original link. Right? And we'll even make it all the same size if I think about that, right? So 18, okay. So this is the first one. I change it and replace it with copy. Watch what happens when I, follow that link in a new window. It's forcing me to make a copy. So this kind of replaces the whole idea of sharing it with view only and making your student's file make a copy. It helps prevent that. It helps prevent you from getting tons of email requests asking for access to the document when that's not what you intended at all. Your user actually has to make a copy of the document, which makes a copy of it, right? So it severs off of the master file, which is pretty neat. It also helps to reinforce the idea that it's important to copy a document in Cloud World because you don't want to necessarily change the original one. So that's force a copy. Again, it's taking the ending and changing it to say copy. Great. Now, if I do that again here, the other one we talked about was this template preview. So again, I'm going to take the ending and change it to say template / preview. Boop, boop. Now, when I follow this link in a new window, it's the same kind of idea. It's like that force make a copy, except I get this button up here that says use template. That makes a copy of the file. It's effectively the same thing as force a copy, except I get to see the file before I make a copy of it. So that has some really nice advantages as well. So again, the way we did that was to just change the ending to template preview. Now, there's a third option we talked about. And in that case, again, I'm going to change the ending all the way back to edit to just preview. And yep, you guessed it. When I click this and follow it out in a new window, it kind of makes it look like a web page, right? I don't have any of the edit commands up here. So it's just another way of sharing this document out. But you'll notice I can't really make a copy of this if I wanted to. So this is strictly for viewing purposes. So you want to make sure that when you're sharing out that link with your audience, you're doing it in the way you want them to use it. Now, one thing to point out, this force a copy, the first one that I showed you, that is the only one that requires the user to have a Google account. What do I mean? Well, if I open this in an incognito window, you'll notice the first thing it has me do is sign in. All of the other ones will let me pass through without signing in as Google, but because force a copy makes a copy of the document, you have to have a Google account to make it work. Now, one thing to be mindful of is you can reverse this process. So if I take and if I copy this link, right, copy link address, and if I go to another account and I paste that link up here and I change the ending back to edit, I can now go in and I can kind of reverse the way that file looked. But here's the nice part. In our experiments and in our testing, and as it's showing me right now, the sharing level of the parent document is maintained, meaning this is only in view only. Even though I said edit, it's view only. Why? Because when I look back at my original document, it's anyone with the link can view. So they can't necessarily bump themselves up this chain. It will respect the original sharing permissions of the document. So there you have it. A couple different ways to share a Google file by changing the ending of the sharing link. If you have any questions on this or anything else EdTech related, please feel free to email me. Also, feel free to subscribe to this channel to receive notifications when new videos are posted. And as always, thank you for watching.